Patrick corruption case. A request for a change of venue denied today, and opening statements will take place tomorrow. Our 7 legal analyst Tom Cranmer is here right now to analyze all of today's developments. We're also going to talk about those charges dropped against Bobby Ferguson. But let's start with the change of denial. Not a big surprise, as Heather was mentioning in her report earlier, that the judge said no to this today.
No, not a big surprise. It was a serious motion, a serious issue, but according to Judge Edmonds, she said it wasn't even really a close call. And I think the reason for that is that while in theory it was an issue that had some viability, the reality of the situation is that they were able to select a jury. It's a very diverse jury, and none of the jurors indicated that they couldn't be fair and impartial.
The defense said they had to raise this issue. I wonder a potential appellate issue if there are any convictions.
I think so, because they did have concerns about this media story singling out this holdout juror in the prior case, and I think that gave them some pause or concern. I think it was appropriate for them to raise it, and appropriate for Judge Edmonds to rule as she did.
And the prior case you're talking about is the Bobby Ferguson case. And interestingly, this afternoon, kind of out of the blue, the 9 charges dropped by the feds against Bobby Ferguson. What do you make of that today?
Well, what the U.S. Attorney's Office said is that they were attempting to streamline the case and make it more understandable. And certainly that makes some sense. There's also the possibility that they had some issues or concerns about witnesses who might testify with regard to those charges or counts, and because of that thought maybe the better course of action was to simply not go forward. But what we have to remember, of course, is that there's still 13 counts that remain as to Bobby Ferguson.
Let's talk about tomorrow. Huge day. Finally opening statements in this trial tomorrow. What does the prosecution and the defense have to accomplish in your mind in the opening statements tomorrow?
Well, let's start first with the prosecution. I think they have to do what I kind of call the 3 C's. They have to give an opening statement that is compelling, that is credible, but it's also clear. I think their biggest challenge is that they have a lot of evidence, a lot of witnesses. They have to tell a story, an opening statement that is understandable and is something that the jurors can follow. And frankly, I think they have to follow up on that when they actually present their case. From the defense standpoint, remember, they don't have to do anything. They don't have to prove anything, but they do have an opportunity to give an opening statement, and I think they will do that. And I think they have to also be compelling and convincing, because remember, it's going to be a long time before jurors actually get to hear from the defense side of the case, because the government case is going to take months, so they have to get out their position early too.
Okay, so the prosecution will probably take months, like you just said.
Yes.
How do you, Tom, keep jurors engaged, interested, and understanding such a complex case over that amount of time?
Well, again, I think what they have to do is they have to look carefully at the witnesses that they present. They have to be careful not to have witnesses saying the same thing over and over again. They have to keep the thing moving along, if you will. They have to introduce evidence as they go along that adds some interest and excitement to the case, and in essence just tell a compelling story.